Okay, this is a rental property, and the residents, if you will, tenants maybe, but they're not answering the door. So I'm going to start on the exterior, and then because of that, I can't enter the backyard without them. So the exterior, at least, and maybe even the roof will be in two parts. So the structure faces west. So the grading and drainage along the north side of the home is very poor. You can see standing water here. We're talking about drainage, not swampage. Okay? So this yard should have been sculpted or molded in such a way that the water would drain away from it. If that doesn't work, then a series of drains should be installed here to take the water out to the curb. This not only has a negative effect on the foundation, but this is also a health and quality of life issue. We've got mosquitoes, we've got West Nile disease, those kinds of things. Now, because of the poor drainage, obviously, we've had some stepping stones, some flagstone, if you will, that's been laid out. And by it being laid out like this, okay, this is not dimensionally uniform. So it's okay for me today, but some days maybe not. Granny, for example, might have a little bit of trouble navigating these stones. This is beyond the scope of the inspection, by the way. This fence is in direct contact with the house by design. This is a conducive condition for wood-destroying insects. So far, we're missing 3 window screens. Good home, this is Bud. Hey, no problem. Okay. Okay, excellent. Thank you. I appreciate this. Bye. Okay, that was the tenant. Will be home in about 3 minutes. 10 minutes, excuse me. Okay, the windows are double pane vinyl frame. We're missing so far at least 3 windows. Again, we're along the north side of the structure. This piping coming out of the wall here. Okay, well, let's stop right here for a moment. Don't pass up work. That's what I was always taught. I do it all the time. Okay? These windows are engineered. They're designed so that they shed water faster than they accept it, because we want the water, because it's a fenestration, it's a hole in your wall, and we want it to shed water faster than it accepts it, because we do not want water inside the house. So we have these weep weirs right here. Okay, weep holes. Now, if you'll notice, this weep hole has a weir trap in it. Keeps the bugs out and that kind of stuff. This one's missing the weir trap. You can buy a whole sack of them for like $12, but they're not very expensive is what I'm getting at. But sometimes they become more important. On a windy day, for example, this window could play like a flute. I can't promise you that you'll always get music, but that's the case. Rain gutters are below grade. We've got continuous soffit vents. This is called an expansion joint. Excuse me, it's called a control joint. Some people call them expansion joints. Call it what you will, just like the lines out in the street. You have a brick wall that's this long. We're in North Texas. It's going to move. It's going to move. So these control joints hopefully prevent stair-step cracks from developing through your brickwork. Moving on along. This piping right here, and there's 2 of them on a small house like this. It's kind of unusual. It's going to be interesting to see what I see in the attic, see what I find in the attic. But one or both of these are secondary drain lines. They shouldn't be a primary. All right, and this house isn't large enough really for 2 units, so I'm not sure what's going on here. But the one or both of those is a secondary drain line for your evaporator coil drain pan. So it's positioned over a window on purpose. So if you look out the window and you see the water coming down, okay, then you know that you got a problem with your air conditioning system, which is in the attic, obviously. So if you see water coming out there, it doesn't mean that you add a little pipe over to the side so it's not bothering you. It means that you got a problem and you need to have it checked out. This piping right here, which is broken, is the piping for the lawn sprinkler system. I'm assuming that this piping is for the water heater. Okay, now this is the water heater temperature pressure relief valve drain line, and it's not supposed to discharge farther from the ground than 6 inches, which it obviously is. This is the electric meter, again on the north side of the house, north side of the garage, if you will. And this meter should have been sealed around the tops and the sides to help prevent moisture infiltration into the wall system. The lawn sprinkler heads should not be positioned farther than closer than 12 inches to the foundation. Now, I know that they are, but when I run the lawn sprinkler system, if I get that opportunity, then you'll know. Then you'll see. You'll see what I'm talking about. All right. Moving along. This is a leap of faith here. We've got GFCI in the garage. We've got GFCI in the exterior. We're going to do a water meter test here shortly. Rain gutters above grade. These gutters do not discharge that one. Okay, you see how that one discharges underground? Alright. But this one does not discharge water far enough away from the structure. Moving on along. This is the garage car entry. Okay, some of our brick, is defacing here, delaminating. Alright, that's called a weep hole. We want those over our lintels. We've got a little bit of movement around the keystone here. This is a metal overhead car entry door. We've also got some separation with the brick right here, a little bit of breaking on the brick, and some separation between the vertical wall casement and the wall. Again, too close. Wood mulch too close to the structure is conducive by design. Okay, well, not actually by design, excuse me. It's conducive to wood destroying insects. Termites. Where do they live? In the ground. What do they eat? Dead wood. What's mulch? Dead wood on the ground next to your house. So that's why that's conducive. Hello, meow meow. Okay. Now the rain gutters. Rain gutters are not supposed to. They're supposed to be 2 inches between the rain gutter edge and the wall. All right. And then you're supposed to have kick-out flashing. Kick-out flashing on both sides, right? So what happens here when the rain gutter is not moved away from the wall and you do not have kick-out flashing is water pours down the wall, and mortar is porous, so water is getting into the wall system here on both sides of the front portico. Moving on along, we've got weep holes over our windows. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. What else can I see here? I'm looking. I'm expecting this to not be on because I tripped it on the other wall, remember? Okay, wood mulch next to the house. Tree should not be closer to the structure than 25 feet to give room for root growth and then trees growing against the house. Okay, well, here we go. Here's another one. We're missing some shingles up here. It's over if we're facing west, it's over the south side of the garage. We're missing some shingles. It's good to know. Good to know. We're lookers. We're looking for these things. Moving on along. I guess the tenants are in here. They're coming. Trees shouldn't be any close. Got a little bit of erosion on this corner. Got a little cat. Hey, buddy. Bushes next to the house, bushes next to the house, bushes next to the house. Poor grading and drainage. Poor grading and drainage. Look at that. See that? Now this vent right here, I'm hoping that vent is the fresh air induction for the air conditioning system. That's what I'm hoping. Because it's for the fireplace, which you've got a wooden chimney here. If that's the fresh air, if that's the combustible air supply for the fireplace, then that's too high. So, but we're going to learn. We're going to find out a little more about that.